Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm interviewing Nobody. Anyway, here we are with Mark, Nobody Knifeworks. What is your last name? I don't think I know. Or you do not want to disclose that.
Oh, no, it's fine, dude. It's just you and me hanging out. So it's actually Yap. Y is in yellow, A is in apple, P is in Peter. Filipino. My dad is...
Really?
Yeah. So that's where I get the chinky eyes from. And
I wasn't going to bring it up.
yeah, so.
I just want to check this real quick.
Yeah,
okay, just make sure it was solid.
1, 2, 3, yeah. But yeah, so...
Well, cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Thanks for doing this with me.
Of course.
He's all the way up here in Michigan for the Michigan Blade Throwers. Well, sorry, it's a WWK Battle of Blade Maidens. We come up here every year to document, help, coach, stuff like that. And sorry, I already cut you off with your last name story, but
It's all good.
I never would have guessed that you're Filipino.
Filipino, yeah. Filipino, and then my mom is actually Native American and English. So I'm just a weird mix of a bunch of different, ethnicities, and yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Where are you from?
So originally from Florida. I'm out of North Carolina, living in North Carolina now. I love it. The year before that, I was actually out of Boston. So I moved around a little bit, and I have customers who are like, they'll message me or they'll be like, "Oh, I thought y'all were out of Boston." And it's always funny to me when people say y'all, because it's like just it's just a one man.
Well, you have a company now, and no one knows. Like you're doing a lot of stuff, so it'd be pretty. It wouldn't be hard for someone to think that you had someone helping you.
It's just, in my mind, I laugh a little bit. I'm like, yes.
So, very how did you like Boston?
Boston, horrendous.
Is it just packed? Like, I've never been.
So great to visit. Not so much to live.
That's exactly how I feel about Florida.
Why?
I lived in Cape Coral. Just had a bad experience when I was there. I hated Florida, dude. Florida's okay. I did not enjoy the people.
I see.
I hung around,
For me, Boston. So, and I tell people, people who I meet at events, they're like, "Oh, how'd you get into the whole knife scene?" I tell them it's a weird story, but I explain it like this. In another life, I worked in medicine. All my family's in medicine, and I actually worked in ophthalmology. I was an ophthalmic technician, so not to get too in the weeds, but I worked with cataract surgery, worked with docs, LASIK eye surgery.
Oh, wow.
Anything to do with eyes, like that was my gig. I worked at a really good clinic. But what made me the saddest about Boston is I was making more money than I ever made in my life, but I was also spending more money than I ever had in my life.
Cost of living's high?
Cost of living. It was $2.5K for 850 square foot apartment. It's just like, how do you
might as well be buying a house.
Might as well buy a house. Might as well buy a house. For me, I just like the math. I was just like, this is insane. That's a down payment. In a year's time, that's a down payment for a house.
So you weren't there very long. Is that the motivation to leave? Is cost?
Yeah, primarily cost of living. It was far from my family. All my family's in the Southeast. My folks are in Florida still. My brother's in Florida. So it was a long way away for a lot of reasons.
So it was when you moved to South Carolina, right? North Carolina, sorry. Obviously, it's right there on the freaking flag. Yeah. So that's when you got into the knife stuff, or?
So I mean.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want the whole origin story, Danger?
If you want, I'm sure people would be interested in hearing it.
Yeah. So Nobody Knifeworks started for me, and there's a lot. I want to be respectful of people's time, your viewers' time. So, essentially, there's a lot to the name Nobody. I get asked, why are you nobody? What, you can call yourself anything, or you're not a nobody, whatever. But essentially, it was during the pandemic, and I got fired from my job. We won't go into details about that, but it happened, and so it was just a bad situation. Like I was out of a job, and I felt like super dejected. I'd never been fired from anything in my life because I like to think I worked pretty hard, and it was a big thing. And so I said to myself, well, the heck with it, I'm just gonna make knives. And it was a big joke. And the girl I was dating at the time, like she was very supportive, but I could tell, you can read people's body language. She thought I was like actually insane. She was like, "You're crazy." and hindsight 2020, it was kind of nuts.
Did you have an interest in knives before that, though, as a kid? Okay.
Yeah. So So before that, I had been involved. I feel like there's a lot of people just like me that are involved in the throwing scene, but more just on the, they like see the videos
From the outside in.
From the outside in, yeah. They like, so for me, Broken Feather 2 years ago, that was my first like in-person throw, and it was phenomenal. I mean, so that's what I mean. Like I had been involved in the throwing scene for, I don't know, 5-6 years, but more in the just like watching videos, throwing on my own, kind of deal. And I noticed pretty quickly there was a kind of a gap in the market that I perceive. Now that I'm a little further in, it's not as big of a gap as I previously thought, because there's so much talent out there as far as makers. There's Hedgie Blades, there's Chris Davey. I mean, there's so much. But naively, I perceived a gap in the market where there is a spot for quality knives at a reasonable price. So i.e., maybe I'm not invested enough to go out and spring for a $300 set of Ace Jets, but I want to get more seriously into the sport.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I wonder if that's like feasible to do, just like, and honestly, the whole thing was an experiment. Like, can I do that? Yes or no?
And you were absolutely right. There was absolutely a market for it, and you filled it wonderfully.
Well, you talk about it all the time. I mean, and I agree with you. People ask, people will dish on, like Amazon throwers or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I started with a set of Amazon.
So did I.
Knives. Like, it's like
an inexpensive way to get into the sport.
Everyone starts. That's where everyone starts.
Yes.
So for me, as long as people are getting in the door, and I was talking with some of the ladies here, it's crazy to me that this sport is not like this venue is beautiful and it's great, but it's mind-blowing to me that there's not like 1,000 people here. Like literally, like
it's still a small niche thing, and it's growing. It's growing a lot.
It's just crazy.
And yeah, you can tell how much it's growing just by watching what's available on Amazon. Really.
Yes.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Well, when you have multi-million-dollar corporations getting an interest in your sport, I mean, yeah, it's a good indication that you're going in the right direction. But yeah, so that's how kind of it started. It started just as a, hey, can we do this? And then it kind of grew into one thing. And then I can't remember what my first video was. And so a lot of people, they're like, the video persona, like, what's that all about? For me, it's just, I have fun doing it, like, to be completely honest with you. And it was a way to, I think people like a good story, and that's one thing There was also mystery there. Oh, for sure. And there's like whoa, what's like this all about? Which is fine. I think that just like we're talking about, like getting people in the door, the Amazon knives. It's the same thing. Like if we can capture people, get them like kind of like curious, like, oh, what's this all about? It's more people in the community, more people coming in, more people, having fun, But for me, I've always I've been a big reader, I guess, bibliophile. I read a lot, and I've always loved.
You into comics and stuff too?
Sure. What comics are you talking about?
Just I mean comics.
Sure.
I
DC,
read all kinds of all of it. Image, Dark Horse. I used to read all that stuff. Yeah.
You got a favorite?
Probably Spawn.
Top 3.
Spawn,
you're Spawn
and then
guy.
the Alien series from Dark Horse. I just loved. There were super thick ones, really, really detailed. Alien's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
They were so good, dude.
What do you think of Prometheus?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I did. I liked it a lot.
Pretty good.
I'm just stoked that I'm such a big fan of the series. I'm just stoked that there are movies to watch.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
So you're one of those true fans.
That
it doesn't matter what. But
I mean, yes, they're going to put out some bad ones. Like Marvel. They can't knock them out of the park every time.
Oof,
and they're going downhill, but they had some good ones, dude.
That's a whole nother can of worms, Danger.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's the state of the film industry.
Yeah. We're getting off a little tangent here. So, okay, I should have wrote notes down. I apologize.
You really
for
should
this.
have. You're very unprofessional. Yeah.
One thing, is this the first time that you will be on camera without the mask?
That's correct.
Oh wow. Okay, so let me give a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
So for a lot of you watching, this is the first time you've ever seen him and his face, because the only time anybody's ever met him is when he comes to a throw. So if you're not familiar, he did a bunch of videos in black and white, similar to like Sim City type stuff, with the face mask of the dude from.
We're thinking of the same thing. Rorschach
Rorschach, yes.
Yes, very big inspiration. Actually,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Can't do the damn movie right now.
Definitely tip of the cap. Watchmen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Dude, that changed comic book movies for me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, he was doing all these videos.
Yes.
And like I said, the community largely is this, but also even bigger, it's online. So he came out of the woodwork. No one knew who he was, and he was posting all these videos of him in a mask and talking in a strange voice and all this stuff, and we're all like, who
the fuck is this?
Who is this dude? And then he was just being a nice guy. He reached out to some of the women, was offering to send them
Are you gonna talk
stuff
about
in the mail,
Rebecca,
or whoever.
Are you going to talk about?
It doesn't really matter who it was, but
yes. Great.
they're like, hey, do you know this person? Like, they're wanting my address to send me knives in the mail.
Oh,
and they're like,
God.
I'm not comfortable doing that.
Yeah, hindsight.
And so fast forward, I was like, I don't know him either, So fast forward to Broken Feather is when he actually showed up and introduced himself to everybody, and we were like, oh, this dude's awesome. So yeah, it's just kind of a funny thing. The community is really protective of itself too, so as you now, especially with the knife making stuff and whatever, and you did it really, really well. So anyway, what?
We're gonna fix that.
Cameo.
What?
That.
Oh yeah, we're filming.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi guys.
It's okay.
Very professional. Yes,
It's okay.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to say anything.
Did he tell you that I
professionalism.
should be his new
She should.
spokesperson for selling his knives?
Yes.
I just walked up and started selling them for him.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She basically just she's gonna yell at people and say,
Get a
like, that's a
percentage or
stupid
something?
good deal, and just run away. Yeah.
Cut that out.
It's all good. I may not. I might not.
Maybe not.
So yeah.
Yes.
Was there a reason that you decided to do did you
Anonymous, yeah.
Did you even think that you would come to these at some point, or?
Yes. So it was always the plan. I'm very big believer in letting things happen organically.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to force things to happen. So we can go more into that, but essentially, yes, that was always the plan. For me, I mean, I'll tell you honestly, that's a big part of the name. I didn't know if this was going to work. I had I'm my own worst critic. Like, I have a voice in the back of my head, like everything I make, like, that's shit.
So maybe if it doesn't
garbage.
work, I'm out.
Crumple it up.
Nobody knows.
No, seriously, like, a very big part of the anonymity was just like, crumple up, ball it up, we're good. Like, we're good. Like, and that sounds like awful to say that way, but it makes it a lot simpler. And now that obviously I'm coming to events and meeting people face to face, like I've met a lot of the ladies here, and yes, that was always the plan, but I didn't know if we would get here. So that so it's just one of those, like, Yeah.
I admit, dude, first couple times I saw your video, I was like, oh man, we got another weirdo. I was like, dang it, dude, they come and go. And I was like, this guy's definitely a weirdo. But nah, he's all right.
Certified weirdo.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
what else? Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say something.
You really should have made notes, man.
I know. I usually do, but this is kind of a spontaneous thing, and I think that, like you said, sometimes you just gotta let things happen organically.
Yeah. Can I ask you questions, or is that
Sure.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
against the
There's no rules.
No rules. Wow, no rules. Holy smokes, that's crazy. So the scene. Obviously, you've been in the scene for a long time now, longer than anyone I know of. Can you think of anyone else?
Oh yeah, there's a few. Ooh, here. Ooh, there might be one or two people that would tie with me. Oh, I see Jim Bednarik from Truebal. Him and
enough.
Bill should be here, so they're about the same time as me.
As far as like modern knife throwing, like i.e. social media, i.e. online. I mean, can you think of anyone else that's been in that space?
Oh yeah, you mean just people online? Oh yeah, tons.
Oh,
Tons.
fair enough.
Well, there a lot of them have. They don't make
They're
videos
still
anymore.
active.
Yeah. I can just go ahead and name off the people that were huge inspirations to me, because like there were hardly any people posting videos online, and there was only like 5 or 6 channels on YouTube that consistently posted.
I know. There's Colette,
Colette,
Tom, Celadin,
Combat Knife
obviously.
Thrower, Celadin was
Do you know?
after me, just a little bit after me. What? Go ahead. Who else? Epic Blade Time. He does not post videos anymore, but he was a huge inspiration to me. We share the same birthday.
Slang him with Mr. Cooper.
He was way out
was
there.
after
He's
it?
never been on. I don't even know if he posts to YouTube. He's always been on Instagram. He doesn't post to
Oh,
Facebook.
I've seen the Instagram.
Yeah.
Seen the Instagram.
But yeah, there was a few. Tom. He's been
Yeah.
around for a long time. Huzan Suzuki.
The GOAT.
Ryan
AKA
Newall.
the
You know,
GOAT.
there was only
Love
like
it.
less than 10 that consistently put out videos, and
Yes.
you know, of course, there was always the Russian throwers that have been around for a long time, but they weren't like. They don't.
hard.
They're off on their
language
own.
barrier,
They don't.
yeah.
They don't care about what we're doing here in America. Hey, don't worry, Jude. I see you back there. I want to do one of these with you too.
Yeah.
Today. All right. But we'll talk about that. So yeah, there was definitely people before me. I have been around a long time, but there's even people outside like the community. Like there's people that have been doing this way longer than me.
So that was actually the preface to my question. So obviously you've been around the community for a long time. Why do you think it's as niche as it still is? Because that's what blew my mind.
Oh.
Just go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have a
Let's
couple
take
different
full-
thoughts
Yeah,
on this.
like why?
People don't want it to. It's, and I'll admit, I was one of those people for a long time. It started off as a
Oh.
backyard sport,
Yeah.
and it doesn't bother me.
Okay, doesn't matter.
It doesn't bother me. It started off as a backyard sport, and I thought it was just cool as shit, dude. I've always
Yeah.
thought the knife throwing is like the bee's knees, dude.
Oh, it's-
I think it's awesome. I grew up as a 80s kid, G.I. Joe, all that stuff. So, but then again, I always, at the same time, I say that I want to make it my not career. I want to make it my full-time job eventually. Like I'm still haven't figured that out. I've been doing this a long time.
Possible.
But I wanted to do it in the right way. Of course, you can just jump in and like scalp people and charge outrageous
Sure,
money for.
sure.
But I always thought that it changed my life. It started off in my backyard, changed my life, and then so maybe I could help someone else, get started in that same path from their own backyard. It doesn't have to be like a huge venue, or it doesn't have to cost all this money and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes,
there's
I
a
very
fine
much
line
agree.
of making it bigger. Like some people want it in the Olympics. Do I want it in the Olympics? No. We could probably make it a lot bigger before we get to the Olympics. It's still
Sure,
very
you want to have-
disorganized and
organically.
Yeah,
obviously.
sure.
If it grows
Yeah,
to that
so-
size, great. But yeah, that shouldn't be your goal. So
Yeah.
so you think that people within the community want to keep it small? Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
Yeah. Some people, have absolutely they do not care at all. All they care about is teaching the sport of backyard throwing
Sure.
and then passing it on to the next generation. And they're
Interesting.
totally content with that. And
Well,
I
but
am too, but still.
You've got to have new people though coming in for there to be a next generation. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a fine line there.
And
So,
then there is the exact opposite of people that want to be the guy and they want to have the most prestigious whatever. And, there's someone who's like, a narcissist or completely full of themselves. It's like the
Sure,
complete opposite
sure.
ends of the spectrum. Like
Yeah.
me, look at me.
Yes,
And then
of
there's the other end of the spectrum. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm totally fine and content throwing in my
Sure.
backyard. I don't need whatever. So
Sure.
it's weird because I'm,
Do you think there's any external societal pressure on
the stigma.
Yeah, sure. The stigma. Well, yeah. Let me just
Kind
call it what it
of, but
is, yeah.
it's going away, and a lot. I hate to say
I
it,
think
a
so.
lot of the stigma's going away because of the axe throwing places. Whenever you used to like, oh, you throw knives, oh, you trying to kill people, you trying to, it's always like, and so people
sure.
see that a lot more often
Sure,
now.
sure,
So
sure,
like,
sure.
oh, it's a sport. I understand that.
I mean, just societally. So as a business owner, all I can say is I've experienced it firsthand where, like, to ship a set of my knives, because I've got a couple guys and girls.
I thought he was handing it to you.
Guys and girls who are UK based, and a couple guys and girls who are Australian based. It's murder. It's murder, and that's like a larger societal stigma against knives. Like, to get that through customs is very, very difficult. You don't think that plays a role as well in
It could for sure.
in the growth of the sport? And then obviously people talk all the
Oh,
time about shadow banning and
that's a part of it too. But I think the
And-
number one reason why we cannot grow as a sport because no one can fucking get along, dude. There's no organization. Sure. Everybody has their own separate thing, and nobody wants to organize and do everything together. And I admit I was stupid. I always thought like, oh man, we're on the same path together. We always have a goal. And then I come to find out, no, that's not true at all. Everybody has their own goals, and they want to do this and that and whatever. And I was always like, oh, okay, I guess I'm an idiot for thinking that we're all fucking friends and wanting to. Sorry.
No. It's totally good. I mean, I think that for me that happened kind of early in my life where I trust people to be people. So I trust people to follow their own rational self-interest. and maybe that sounds like jaded or bad, but I kind of expect people to do what's best for them, and I plan accordingly. And then if someone like does something that I didn't expect, then I just kind of like mentally file that. I'm like, okay, like didn't expect that, but like now I know for the future.
Yeah.
But you think that so infighting you think is part of
No,
what
it's not totally the infighting things, because you can just totally see an argument online and that's all you focus on, and then
sure.
if that's all you focus on, that's all you're going to see. But here's an example: WATL
Yes.
branched off WKTL,
Yes.
and the reason why they're doing so well is they already had a system that worked. They were already tied
Correct.
in with large companies, ESPN and whatnot, and then
Right.
WKTL was just able to go right in there. And I'll admit, and I've heard from behind the scenes, they're actually not doing that great. They got pulled off of ESPN, and the only reason that they're
they got pulled off ESPN. WKTL did.
yeah, because it's boring.
So
But-
that's the problem. That's the problem. So you always talk about fast draw is the future.
Yes. Fast draw. We need stuff that's entertaining
Exciting.
to watch.
Yes, entertaining.
Regular knife throwing's not that great to watch, man.
Yes. It's like pool
I admit.
or golf. You know,
Unless you're really into it, like people watch billiards on TV.
Correct.
Blows my mind, but it's a huge sport.
I watch poker on
But
TV.
let me
so
go back
I'm
to this point before I forget. The WKTL, they're organized and they have a lot of money.
Yes.
So, and I've been trying to get more people, and I'll admit I'm not the greatest at organizing all this stuff either, but I do want to be a part of it somehow. But they're making us look bad. They're making us all look bad, dude, because they're so organized, and look at them. They're able to put out, huge cash prizes.
Yeah.
But and some of us have tried to branch over and go into that, but it's just so different than what we do. You got to wear a sponsored jersey. You got to throw knives that have these specific parameters, and not even that. They've made a monopoly,
Yes.
so you have to throw one of these 3 or 4 knives, and those knives, they're basically hatchets, dude. They're throwing hatchets. They're cleaving into a vertical board. It's the exact same thing as axes or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'm
If
done.
I may-
Dude.
No,
I'm
no,
done.
it's totally good. For me, because I have looked at and do look at, because I have people reach out to me all the time asking, not all the time, semi-regularly, asking if I can make WKTL compliant, or KTL compliant
KTL.
knives. And for me, when I look at them, yes, organization, fantastic.
Of course you could.
The website, fantastic. Live events published where everyone can see it publicly, fantastic. But the soul, they suck the soul right out of the sport.
I'm glad you said it, and I'm not trying to talk.
Sterile. It's sterile, and so it's learning how do you scale. See, for me, that's a challenge. How do you scale without losing the soul? I think that's the goal of the future of the sport. Because WKTL, again, they do a lot of things well. They do a lot of things really well, but they're soulless. Like this.
It's all a money grab. That's all they care about is the bottom line, making money, and you can tell. But then again, man, there's people in those groups I watch. They're okay with rebuying knives. They're okay with spending that much money. It's strange to me. They don't care about rule changes all the time.
So that was kind of a hot topic. So I'm actually one of those weird people who I don't have a problem with people making money, provided you do it in the right way. And for me, that's just, again, rational self-interest and voluntary exchange. I think, if you make a cool product and people want to buy your product, then kumbaya. Like, everyone wins. Your buyer wins, you win, obviously, as a business. And you go, but I agree with you, the thing that the WKTL that I've personally experienced, because I actually, behind the scenes, I looked into making a line with WKTL compliance. I did a little research, and I kind of found out very quickly that the people who run it have a hand in
Of
the
course.
knives. So I was like, oh, they're never going to approve these designs, even if they're all up to specs. I should never say never. I don't know, because I killed it in the cradle, that idea. But
So even if you do make a knife that's compliant, you still have it had okayed by them.
Correct.
Blah blah blah.
Correct.
Yeah. And I just want to make something clear in this video that I don't know. All I'm doing is I'm casting shade onto WKTL. That's it. I don't know anybody that's a part of it. I can't say that this person's a jerk or anything. I don't know anybody, so I'm not personally attacking anybody. I just don't like the way that they do business in the WKTL, and I don't know. But
again, I think it's
I always mention when Jason pumped out Waddle in the championship. He's like, hey man, I want you to bear witness to this. You brought me over there. Sure enough, you fucking started pumping him out in front of everybody.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that another time, dude.
well, Danger. All
Waddle, fuck him.
right, we'll edit that out for now. Do you have any other questions?
Questions,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I just want to know.
questions.
Yes, I want to know. Like, you sent me a set of knives. I believe it was this set
Oh
here.
God.
And-
Yeah,
But you've quickly progressed, and you've made some really cool stuff.
yes.
For example, this. First time I saw this, I was like, "Damn, that's
Get
really
the
rad."
Get the better one here. That's the proto, and this is
Okay,
the
yeah,
still
I mean-
proto, but better.
Yeah, this knife is sick. And for him to add the brass and pin it all correctly. And have these come loose at all yet?
So one came loose from a guy torture testing it against a 5-pound weight. So he threw it into he tried to pin the 5-pound.
Well, I
weight.
mean, if you're going to abuse it,
They hold up at 15 meters.
But
yeah.
other than that, they seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that you were able to come onto the scene and design your own designs. Your designs aren't even close to anybody else's stuff. So I just think it's awesome. Like, there's always this person stealing this knife design, or this person's doing this, or not giving credit, or whatever.
Sure.
And you're not even close. No one can say, and you've done a really good job of staying away from that. Of course, there's the arrow design, but everybody has that. Everybody has their own little spin on it. It just works. It just works. If you don't believe me, go to Amazon.
Yeah.
Chinese have already stolen
So do you know the term convergent evolution? Danger?
I do not.
So convergent evolution is essentially, it's a characteristic that a species acquires due to a need, right? So flight is a great example. Insects fly, birds fly, pterodactyls, reptiles. So ancient reptiles flew. And it's all because there was a distinct advantage to flight.
Sure.
So
you're going to evolve.
Literally, that's kind of where the arrow falls. It's like, yeah, the characteristics of having the back heavy, slightly flared, but with a narrow tip, it just fucking works.
And it really works for beginners.
Correct.
That is the way to go.
Yeah.
Thicker, handle
Correct.
heavy knife. That's the way to
With
go.
the iron tier, that was basically the only thing, because I wanted to, and I appreciate you saying all of those kind things, because I think creative integrity and artistic vision is very important. I just had a woman today ask me if I could make a feather-shaped knife, and I said, well, yes, but let me check with Joe Dara, because he has broken
Obviously,
feather.
that's his
broken
thing.
feather.
Obviously.
So give me a second, because it's very important to me to, because it takes a lot of time and effort and mental energy to put something out into the world. And so for me, I never wanted to be affiliated with someone who just ripped someone else's design, because obviously it's no good. Sorry.
Why would you want to be involved in that? But it happens.
Yeah.
But your designs, man. More questions I got. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So we had talked briefly on the phone not too long ago, and I had asked how far you were into this.
Yeah.
Because there are very, very few full-time knife makers, and I think that you told me that you've become a full-time knife maker. Is that true?
That's correct. For better, for worse.
Dude, that's incredible.
To my parents' anxiety. Yeah.
So you do not have an external job?
I did. I had a side gig, but I stopped that, and with growing.
Congratulations, man. That's a big deal. That's
it's really,
there are very, very people that do this full-time and as their only source of income. So yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thank you. I joke a lot with my customers that every purchase they make goes to my ramen fund, and only half joking there, but so.
All right, Judah, come on, I'm doing something.
Yeah, very, very professional.
Yeah, what else did we talk about on that phone call that I wanted to bring up? The full-time
DangerCast.
The
cool thing. I don't know if you're ready for that.
Yeah. Okay, so Mark had this excellent idea because I had put out a post asking everybody to sponsor different events, and it was awesome. I think I filled them up within a day or two, but you know, I can't remember what your text said, but I had made a joke about if he needed to pay for anything, I said, well, you could pay for the porta potties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most expensive parts about putting on DangerFest is the porta potties, and I was way low on that number, by the way. It's gonna be,
are you?
Yeah, it's gonna
Well,
be. But anyway, he made a joke about sponsoring the porta potties. You know, sponsored by Nobody Knifeworks. It's the shit, or something like that, right? I was like, damn, that's a pretty good idea. And then he had an idea of, we're just throwing this out there. We got to get consensus from all the knife makers and whatever. But we could have, because we're gonna have like 15, at least a dozen, maybe 15 porta potties this year. And he's suggested that each one of the knife makers or companies or whoever's going to sponsor pay $100 and sponsor each one of those porta potties. And I was like, damn, dude, that's not a bad idea. When we get them, they're brand new, they're clean. We could even go as far as like putting stickers. Well, of course we would want to do some kind of decoration, stickers on the doors or whatever. And he even went even further and suggested that we have a contest. Who has the most decorated porta potty? And I was like, that's a great idea. Let's just get the people to sponsor the.
Yes, one step at a time.
Yeah, we'll talk to the different makers and stuff and see how they feel about it. But it's going to be a hard pitch.
Oh, I don't think so.
To the, like, for instance, I have a knife shop, a professional knife shop, a custom knife shop. This guy has like one-off knives. They're really hard to get. Super nice. He's advertised on the radio, and I got him to sponsor the Fast Draw event. It's Blade Maidens Knife Shop every year for the past few years, and I was like, man, that's going to be. He's already not involved with knife throwing, and I was just super stoked to get someone like that involved in DangerFest at all, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to have to sell him on, hey, you want to put your stickers on a porta potty?
Well, think about it this way, though, Danger. I mean, if I may, I just logistically. So, how many people are going to come to DangerFest this year? Just ballparking.
People or throwers?
People. I mean, so what's your audience?
At least 200.
200. Okay, that's fine.
At least.
So how much does this guy make per sale? You say he's a high-end custom knife guy, yeah?
Yeah, he's been struggling lately. The market's not great for people buying custom stuff.
It's tough, but
or even high-end knives.
A couple $100, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple $100, okay. Per knife. Of that, he probably makes at least 50%. I mean, let's just reasonably assume he's running a reasonably profitable venture. So he's making. It's just for easy numbers, $200 a sale. So he's got 200 people exposed to his brand for whatever the porta potties cost. They're probably going to be $100, $150. So literally, he needs to convert on one. He needs one person out of that 200 people that are at that event to buy one of his knives, and he's in the black. I mean, that's literally a no-brainer.
He doesn't sell knives there, though. He just gives us money and some knives just to sponsor it out of the kindness of his own heart. We're not giving any business or anything, so you know what I mean.
You don't think someone would buy his knives?
He's not coming to.
No. None as an
someone would buy his knives, yeah.
Look, if they saw like what's the name of his business?
Blade Maidens Knife Shop.
He said, Blade Maidens Knife Shop. That good shit. They just thought it was funny. They snapped a pic and they sent it on social media. And you don't think that nets him? Yeah. Has the potential. It's all you always got to talk statistics. But the potential to net him a sale, I think so. But
anyway, all the throwing knife makers, I think they'd all be down. I know Lewis would be down for that.
It's just such an easy.
Seamus is over there. Seamus might be down for that. He's a close knife maker. He lives in Rochester, so he's a fellow.
I've got to meet Seamus.
Hoosier there.
I haven't met him.
Those are his sons. Oh, he's I can't see him. There's Seamus. He's standing up in the beard.
Seamus does really good work.
Yeah, he does. He does excellent work. He doesn't really make throwers though, but he sells knives every year.
Oh no,
that's a good point.
I've been a big fan. Oh, sorry.
That's actually a good point because he sells knives every year, and I think it was 2 years ago that we had more sales at DangerFest than ever. Like several of the makers came up to me and said, "Hey, man, like that was awesome. Thank you for." Because I don't charge anybody. If you guys want to come sell stuff, do it. People are asking how much does it cost to set up a table. I was like, nothing.
I think that's a good. I mean, you want to talk about indicators of the health of the community. I think commerce is a really good indicator because again, as long as provided, obviously you do it in the right way, where makers get to make cool stuff and people buy it because they want to, because I think it's the bee's knees, and they're at DangerFest and hell yeah, I'm leaving with swag. I think that's a really good indication of, hey, is the community healthy? Is the community growing? Then yes, you're going to see that.
And it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's been slow roll,
yeah.
but yeah. I mean, there's enough room for everybody. Actually, that's another thing.
That's another. Sorry, go ahead.
That's enough
Okay.
room. There's a lot of makers. Like I
Yes.
can bet I can count. Swear to Jeebus, 120 different manufacturers of knives, whether it's custom, like you, or a manufacturing company.
So
120. That's a lot, dude.
I keep your list, by the way, because I'm not on it.
I did that right before you, right?
I know.
Yeah, I did that right before you.
I use it as like low-key motivation. I'm like,
I think it was
I'm gonna maintain this
113,
list.
so I added a couple whenever I tell this story now. I bet I can count at least 120.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because there's still people I run across on YouTube. Never seen them before. They don't know nothing about the community. They don't know nothing about competitions, and they make their own, knives or whatever.
I mean, it's again, it's one of those things where, like, so because it's funny you mentioned, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, where I've had conversations with people. They're like, well, don't you think the scene's too small to support more makers? And I'm like, yes, I do, and that's why my focus is much more on how to grow the scene, because I think that's just a much more intelligent way to do it. Like, why would you spend the time and energy and effort fighting over a slice of a pie than making? I would much rather make a fucking feast and grow the scene as a whole. But everyone eats.
But what is the scene? A lot of people that are going to watch this are fans, or they're already part of the knife throwing community, whether it's online or the people that go to the throws. And that's, but they're not everybody participates in those. We're thinking of a small group of people. Like, for instance,
that's the problem.
That dude that dude from China.
Which one? There's a couple.
TE Dojo kid.
Oh, TE Dojo. There's. Zhang Shi?
No, the one he went by a different nickname. Anyway, I'm sorry, dude. He was saying that there's 50,000 knife throwers in China alone. I was like, oh. So imagine what the rest of the world is. We're looking at it online, like this small little piece right here. Like, there's another huge group of people outside of that.
You do realize 50,000 is like a drop in the. It's like not even a drop in the bucket. That's so small
compared to our scene. It's 50,000 times or 50 times bigger.
But I see that in and of itself as a problem. Or I see as a not problem. I hate using the word problem. Challenge. That's a challenge. I think we could work to overcome.
If we can all get along, and that's the problem.
I think you just need a higher goal. I think you just need, for me, just have fun. Like, that's why I make the videos. That's why I keep making knives. I've told people, like, when I'm not having fun, like, that's the day I won't make knives anymore, or won't make content or videos or anything like that.
I get bummed out every once in a while.
I know you do. Or, well, you've alluded to the fact.
Yeah, you get jaded every once in a while, but I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to not
Well, you
throw.
stop when it's not fun anymore, I assume.
Winning?
No, when it's not fun.
When.
That's when you'll stop. You said I'll never stop.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you can choose to focus on some of the negative stuff, and that'll get you down. And but you can choose to focus on that, or you can choose to focus on the positive. Like, look what we're doing today. I think there's like 70 some women
so
here.
So
throwing.
70, like
it's
75
crazy.
women out
there.
Yeah,
it's amazing, dude. So I'll support this any day.
I talked to Dawn. This is her gig. I was like, man, dude, you're putting the guys to shame, because Broken Feather I was just at was 60.
They have set the standard. They have set the standard,
dude.
Not just for the participation.
The organization. They got the LED
this
Cadillac.
I already told them, I was like, I got to step it up. Because they have 12 or 13 ranges now. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to step it up then.
That's what I mean. So I think this event is evidence, if anything. Sorry, Adrian, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was itching my back.
I think it's evidence that you can do it. You can have the organization. You can have the well-run, well-regulated event that's Waddle-esque without killing the
vibe.
soul, the vibe, the soul, whatever you want to call it. And this is my first WWK. This is my first time at this range, and it's just, I love it.
It's incredible.
The setup is just,
it's
phenomenal.
Yeah, they have a
really
really
360 view.
I did a walk around a couple times.
Cool.
But it doesn't really.
Yeah.
You can't fully grasp it.
Yeah, it never does.
I did bring my GoPro with the gimbal, so I might cruise around the property later.
You know who does 3D drone work, which you need to reach out to? This guy I met at
3D drone work?
Yeah, he does like panoramic drone footage. His tag is Axes and Arrows. I met him at last throw we were at. Shucks.
Oh, Broken Feather? Or wait, what?
Yeah, Broken Feather. Yeah, God, I was having a major brain fart.
I was like, did he go to a different one?
Yeah, I was like, well, see, this is like my third throw in like just as many months. So I'm like, which throw was that? Yeah.
We actually have some
Super
drone
nice guy.
footage.
Super nice guy.
My dad paid for drone footage of
So you're
at DangerCast a couple years ago, and it was pretty cool.
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think that's how you talk about engaging, talk about growing the community, whether we like it or not. And one thing that I'm sure you're not struggling with, a challenge. How do you grow? You know, how do you grow in this age of social media? Well, you have.
I'm trying.
You have really cool shit.
Dude, it's
you know?
hard. It's hard. I'm trying, dude. I've been trying for 11 years now on
That's
YouTube,
what
and
you
I
told me.
finally just now got traction, dude. I had 5,000 subscribers in February.
I hate that word,
and
traction, because it sounds.
That's exactly what it is, though.
It sounds so sterile. It's
Well,
like
no.
traction.
You're just spinning your wheels, dude. You're just spinning your wheels.
There you go. Drone
Here,
footage.
fly it in here. I'm filming.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah, fly
the
right here.
drone. Fly the drone. Yeah. Oh. Hell yeah.
Okay. It's a new test.
Yeah.
I trust you. Not really.
It won't let me.
No, I trust. 100%.
Oh, okay. All right.
too
Dang
bad.
it. Missed opportunity.
That's okay.
That's rude. That's
But it's stuff like that where you use cutting edge technology, i.e. drone footage, to really push the sport, push the scene, to where it can be featured on an Instagram homepage. You know, not some niche. You have to look up 5 hashtags to even find the thing, but where like, wow, like DangerFest.
Sirs,
No, thank you.
Sword
Man,
and
those
shield?
look delicious,
Really?
though. No, thank
I'm
you.
so good. Thank you though.
No?
Thank you though.
what about a sword?
Those are cool too.
Come on, swords. Swords and
No,
shields.
thank you. No, thank you.
I'm
Those are
okay.
cool though.
Knives.
That's not what I'm saying.
God, so rude, Danger.
Oh no.
These sweet women baked cookies for you. Literally gave them to you on a tray. And you
Give
said
me an
no.
hour or so. I'm not using them.
You said no.
Growing the sport. Okay,
Yes, yeah.
I've been trying, dude. Don't believe me. Like, it's tough. It's tough, man. I'm not just trying to grow my social media channel. I'm trying to grow the sport, and I'm trying to get more people involved.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to help out the new people or answer texts or messages and whatever. I try, man. I try hard. And
If I may, I'm sorry, Danger. Can I like shift gears just
Sure.
a slight bit?
Sure, man.
So you say throwing changed your life. I think I know what you mean, but I'm curious. Could you expand upon that a little bit, as much as you want, obviously. Yeah, long
I
story.
never talked about it on film before.
Well, you don't have to.
Well,
it's up to you.
It's whatever. Someone could use this against me, but whatever.
Okay.
Dude, I'm a fucking drug addict, dude.
Sure.
I'm a fucking drug addict. I was on methadone for 11 years. I was going to the methadone clinic for 11 years at $15 a day. Don't do that math. It's crazy. And then I found knife throwing, and it gave me motivation to get off that shit. And it's also like getting older, and so. But I had made a deal with another knife thrower at one point in time, and we kind of made it a goal of mine. Hey, you get off that shit, we can finally fucking partner together and do some big things.
Cool.
So I used that as motivation, and
To pull you out of that.
it didn't happen, but it was motivation to help get off of it. So
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know, dude. Like, what's up?
Excuse me. Steve's stopping at Sam's for ice. Do you need any ice for your coolers?
I did not even bring a
I'm
cooler
okay.
though. Thank you for
Thank you.
asking. Yeah, man, I was just at a very
You're in a dark place.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny that did you find it was the sense of mastery and the sense of control and the sense of incremental improvement that kept drawing you back to this sport? Because I think that's
That's a good question. Well, you know, when you stick a knife, it feels good.
yeah.
So,
oh yeah, big time.
you know, and so does doing drugs. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, and I wasn't bad at it. I wasn't bad at it as soon as I started. So I was like,
You're pretty
ooh.
good. You had some raw
I was like,
talent,
ooh,
sure.
I can, you know,
Yeah.
this is fun, and I thought I could take it somewhere. So, man, I had a lot to prove when I first started throwing,
Sure.
and I almost got there.
Now we need to create like a
But you're still getting there.
Yeah, it
mean,
never it never ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it just changed my life. It's hard to explain.
Hey, Danger, thank you. Thank you.
y'all are viral. Everybody's talking about y'all.
All right, what else?
Yeah, what else? Do you have a favorite near-death experience in the life of Danger? I want to hear this shit because
What?
I know you do. Yeah, bad ricochet, almost.
Oh, you're talking
nailed
about
you
knife
through-
throwing?
Nailed you through the eye.
That's not why
Yeah.
people call me Danger, dude.
Negative.
Knife throwing stuff? No, the worst one I've ever had is just I caught that. Jason Johnson gave me the original prototype to the saber tooth.
Oh, sure.
It was made by Blake.
What's? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And anyway, I caught a ricochet real bad. It hit me in the thigh. I just wasn't able to get out of the way.
You too.
Yeah.
The only bad
And-
sick got me
Yeah,
right.
I was lucky that it was the prototype because it wasn't sharp anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever held one of Jason's knives. They're insanely sharp and pointy. So I got very, very lucky that it was not sharp.
Will he be at Danger Fest this year?
No,
Why? Why not?
I don't know. You ask him.
Weird thing in social media, speaking of social media, where like you can only interact with like bigger fish. Like as a big fish, which obviously I appreciate you doing this interview because you're a great whale. You are the ocean.
I'm just a knife thrower.
Interacting with a single water droplet right now, so it is kind of surreal, for sure. But that is kind of a weird conundrum in social media. Like you can only engage with like other creators who are like at your level or above. Like that's
I
like
don't fucking play that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's just not cool with me.
yeah. It is a weird. Well, it is a thing, you know. It is a
Yeah,
thing.
sometimes you reach out to someone and
For sure,
It's
and
called being shined. Being shined
what
by
it's called?
someone. Well, listen, their star is so bright. Their star is so bright. They'll just shine you. They don't have time for you, dude. Their star is so
shine you.
bright. Oh, I can't see you. It's so bright up there.
What the fuck does that even mean? That just means they're giving you a shout out. They're giving you.
No, it means they don't have time for you, dude. You
Oh,
know, I've been
it's a bad
shined.
thing.
I mean, I've reached out to like other
it's-
people that are bigger than me or have a bigger following or whatever that do similar stuff as me. I was like, hey, let's collaborate.
Yeah.
And then they'll say something.
I
They'll,
see. So
they'll,
that's
then,
like a
then they'll
negative.
just fucking not talk to you.
See, like, so full disclosure, I didn't have an Instagram. I'm not like the biggest social media guy before I started all this. And like stupidly, I believed I didn't need one, but that was so dumb. Like again, fortunately, unfortunately, it's kind of the water we all swim in is this age of social media.
Yeah. Necessary evil.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool, just like anything else. But near-death experience, nothing crazy, really.
No, man.
The most dangerous man in the world.
Oh, whatever.
no
That's just a
dan- has no
that's just a
no
nickname, dude.
dangerous
No, man.
stories.
Like, knife throwing's pretty damn safe. It's
It-
you know, I mean,
When done correctly,
even throwing
with the right tools,
You know,
I agree.
throw fucking drunk all the time. I still haven't had a crazy.
Sure.
Not really. I mean,
I had a guy message me this week with one of my knives. The reason I asked, sorry, it's not totally out of the blue, I guess. He apparently ricocheted and it got him like right above the eyelid, and like immediately I picked up the phone. I called. I was like, A, are you okay? B, put some antibiotic on that shit like ASAP because I do not want you with a ruptured globe, an eye infection, like because
It's
tangentially because
yeah.
of me. You know,
Do at your
like-
own risk, dude. You know, we've never had, as far as I know, no major tournament ever has had a bad like cuts from burrs and stuff like that. But no one's
Yeah.
ever been seriously injured from a thrown
Hospitalized.
knife at a competition. So that I mean, with your safety protocols, when you're at home, you kind of make your own safety protocols. So that's obviously when people get They hit. You know, walking forward when a knife is ricocheting, that's a bad idea. Not wearing shoes, that's
Trying
a
to
bad
catch
idea.
knives, really bad idea. Yeah. Those guys are all idiots, right? Totally.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
it looks cool though. That's the problem.
Well,
that's the problem, dude.
See
It's
that
awesome.
viral social media? There you go. That necessary evil, dude.
Yeah, dangerous stuff is fun.
Dangerous stuff.
But no, I've never, like, you know, there are very, very few people that I trust to throw knives around me.
Sure.
And we're going to see later, might let Judah throw around me.
You're going to let Judah throw around you?
Probably.
Here?
Yeah. And, you know, I take that stuff pretty seriously, and I've been watching him.
I was wanting him to watch me throw anyway so he could judge me, man.
I've been watching these videos. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but videos don't really show it.
Well, they do, though, when you're not
do.
dropping knives
Yeah.
the whole time. That means a lot. You know, you can't fake that. There's no faking that. I know throwing in front of people is a big difference, too, obviously. You know, and throwing in front of a crowd, you need to get used to that shit. Huh?
I'm already, I've been used to that.
Yeah.
Showing my ass to closing.
Yeah.
Hey, can we check how long I've been filming?
Probably got a good bit there.
51 minutes. and
Woo!
32 seconds.
Okay. I know we rambled here and there, whatever, but if you're a knife throwing nerd, you'll watch it. You'll watch this. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Anything upcoming projects? You have oh shit!
Yeah,
you have a team.
So okay.
He's got
okay.
a team. We got to go over that.
Alright. So yes, in the very near future, I will officially announce a team.
Oh, you haven't officially announced it?
No, I have
Oh,
not.
I just spoiled it?
No, you didn't spoil it. If anything, I can't say shine
It's
in a
not-
good way. You
no,
shine me in a
whatever.
good way.
It's
you
not
shine,
published.
So essentially, yeah, we've got the team coming up. We've got some new designs, the Swagger Dagger, the official release of that. I'm excited for it because I think it's going to be really nice. And then there is we'll just call him a mystery gentleman that we are doing a collab with, as the kids say.
Ooh.
Who is pretty big, I would say. And hopefully, if we can land that, we can do some fun stuff and have fun. So yeah, that's about it.
Hell yeah, man.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, dude, it's cool to see you up here. I did not expect you to be in Michigan. That's a long drive.
It's a little bit of a drive, but I mean,
Yeah, thanks for making the trip, man.
Totally
And
worth it.
yeah, it's been great talking with you, man. And thanks
Always.
for doing this. And
Always.
yeah, I think we'll do another one sometime. You're
Love.
coming to DangerFest, right?
DangerFest for sure.
All right, dude. Thanks a lot, dude.
Always pleasure.